106. Okay, before I start to make a video today, don't forget to hit the subscribe and like, also comment down below. Okay, today I'm going to make a video about translation and interpreting. So I'm going to explain more detail about chapter 3. Make sure you don't skip this video. Enjoy! Okay, in 1950 and 1960, the place of curricula debates around literal and free translation took the new debate around certain key linguistic issue. Among them, those of meaning and equivalence, or the problem of equivalence in meaning, discussed by Roman Jacobson in 1959. And over the following 20 years, many further attempts were made to define the nature of equivalence. So in chapter 3, there are four scholars that I will mention in this video. The first is Roman Jacobson. In his paper on linguistic aspects of translation, Roman Jacobson described three kinds of translation. The first is interlingual, intralingual, and intersemiotic. But Roman Jacobson only focuses on interlingual. Jacobson followed the relation set up by Saussure between the signifier, the spoken and written sign, and signified, the concept of signifying. In Jacobson's description, interlingual translation involves substituting message in one language, not for separate code unit, uh, but for the entire message in some other language. So, in the Jacobson discussion, the problem of meaning uh, and equivalence, this focuses on the difference in the structure and terminology of language rather than on any inability of one language to render a message that has been written in other verbal language. Only poetry is considered untranslatable by Jacobson and require a creative transposition. Okay, the second is Nida. Nida attempt to move translation, Bible translation in his case, into a more scientific era by incorporating recent work in linguistics. Nida's more systematic approach borrow theoretical concept and terminology both from semantic and pragmatics and from Noam Chomsky's work on synthetic structure, which formed the theory of generative transformational grammar. Nida described various scientific approach to meaning related to work that had been carried out by theories in semantic and pragmatic. Central to Nida work in the move away from the old idea and move idea that an orthographic word has a fixed meaning and toward a functional definition of meaning in which a word acquire meaning through its context and can produce varying responses according to culture. Okay, the third scholar that I will mention in this video is Chomsky. Chomsky generative transformational model analysis sentence into a series of related rival government by rules. The key feature on this model can be summarized as follow. The first, power structure rules generate an underlying on deep structure. The second, transformed by transformational rules relating on underlying structure to another, for example, like active to passive. And the last is a vinyl surface structure, which itself is subject to phonological and morphemic rules. So the last color that I will mention is Wernacolor. Wernacolor examined the concept of equivalence more closely, along with its link term correspondence. The two can be different as follow. The first, correspondence. Correspondence fall within the field constructive linguistic, which compare two language systems and describe difference and similarities contrastively. Its parameters are those of scissors Lego. This will include the identification of false friends, for example, like German actual means current and not English actual, and of sign of lexical, morphological, and synthetic in their friends. And the last is equivalence. On the other hand, relate to equivalent item in specific XT entity, pairs, and context. The parameter is that scissors plural. I think this is the end of the video. Hopefully you guys learn so many things in this video, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for you who is watching this video until the last. The last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.